This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes. Hello all, if you're checking here on YouTube, appreciate that. You can enjoy a few minutes here of a ham documentary following a group of Montanan amateur radio enthusiasts that show a loyal community of amateur radio explore what it means to be a ham and how they are trying to keep the hobby alive. So we'll watch a few minutes of this.
On Earth, thousands of amateur radio operators, hams, prepared for their first man in space. On orbit day 3, excitement peaked among hams all over the world. And then amateur radio's Man in Space went on the air.
This is W5LFL in Columbia. W5LFL in Columbia, orbiting the Earth at an altitude of 135 nautical miles. Passing over the U.S. West Coast and calling CQ. So W5LFL in Columbia is calling CQ and standing by. Go ahead.
W5LFL, WA1JXN, WA1 Japan, X-Ray Norway, Frenchtown, Montana. WA1JXN, standing by.
Hello, W1JXN. This is W5LFL. Picked up your signals fairly weakly. I think our attitude is not really the best as yet, but you're our first contact from orbit. WA1, Juliet, X-Ray November.
One of the degrees that I got in college was in physics. So I've always been interested in science, and I've always been interested in nature. My activities in ham radio have really kept my interests in technical things and in natural phenomena going throughout my life, even though my work life may have been involved in marketing. Or
all right, this is Duran K1DBC. I'll play another minute or so of this here, but we'll get the net prepared here. But that was the ham documentary put on by the School of Visual Arts media program at the University of Montana and aired on Montana PBS. So let me break here for a moment and we'll get things started. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by.
business and things like that. So it's been a great outlet for me that way.
It seems to bring the news or the word right here. I can hear that right now. I can hear the emergency action messages from the Air Force to our nuclear forces. Airliners overseas, flying over the ocean, that sort of makes me feel like I'm back in the airplane again. what I did, same frequencies, same reports, and just sometimes just to see what's out there.
All right, so looks like it's a very well shot documentary and looks pretty cool here. So available on YouTube. This is Daron K1DVC. Welcome and good evening to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. We were just watching a video over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club, documentary by Montanan amateur radio enthusiasts, again put on by the School of Visual Media Arts Program and University of Montana. It aired on the Montana PBS, so I apologize. Jumped the gun here going live, but again, good evening and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie K1DBC. My name is Daron, Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November, DORON. I'm net control for this evening's Learning Net. Let me drop here for a moment. All right, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control. Appreciate everyone being here this evening. Last week, we spoke about some pretty good topics. Let's see what was brought up. A video about DMR versus D-Star versus System Fusion by KE0OG, Dave Kassler. We were talking about a Fox Hunt, upcoming Fox Hunt transmitter, April 9th. Over on QRZ.com/DB/N0CFM, November 0 Charlie Foxtrot Mike. You can find more information on that. Let's see, we talked about weather spotting and some other antennas and some other things. So a lot of cool stuff we've spoken about here recently. So this is Daron K1DBC. You can contact us, Elmer, at w0tx.org via email if you like, or most social media at Denver Radio Club. And again, youtube.com if you've missed the net, or if you want to see additional behind the scenes or visual context, that is a way to do so.
W0TX repeater.
This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? This is K1DBC Net Control. As a reminder, there's no more net mode to the repeater. Essentially what this means is there is a timeout around 3 minutes, I believe we recently learned. So just keep that in mind when you're speaking. Try to keep it under 3 minutes, or just give a break here once in a while, and you're more than welcome to continue on. So, and it does still require the PL tone to transmit, but if you've ever been able to make this repeater before, you shouldn't have an issue now. So with that being said, all check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics for your call sign and indicate if you have traffic or questions as you do. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo 0 Lima Alpha India K0LAI Larry in Lakewood.
November 1 Golf Uniform Mike, Peter in Littleton. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Whiskey Charlie, Brian, Centennial, no traffic. Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo, Richie Alabama, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0LAI Larry, N1GUM Peter, KF0AWC Brian, and WD6DOK Rich. We also had a check-in online, KF0ICC David. Thank you all so much for checking in. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, at the moment, we're taking check-ins for call suffixes A through M, Alpha through Mike. Please check in now with your call sign and let us call sign your name and let us know if you have any traffic or questions as you do. A through M, Alpha through Mike. Please check in now.
KF0ILS, Kilo Foxtrot 0, India Lima Sierra, Adam in Denver, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Mike Delta Alpha, Rob in Denver.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, KF0 FPI, Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. All right, and that time we had KF0ILS Adam. Great to hear you in there. AF0E Alex, KF0MDA Rob, and KF0FPI Ron. Thank you all so much for checking in. Appreciate all the new calls, old friends. Great to hear everyone checking in there. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Go ahead and up the whole alphabet. All call signs, all call suffixes A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics. Plenty of expertise and experience here. All call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions. Please call now.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. At that time, we had N0TRP. Jim, thank you so much for checking in, as always. Again, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes, Alpha through Zulu, A through Z. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions for the net, as you do. Please check in now. All right, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. This is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. You're more than welcome to check in at any given time. If there's no one else speaking, please don't hesitate to jump in. I can bring up. There's a lot of updates to the club here recently. We can talk about a lot of things in the news. We can talk about. So I can talk about a few things. If anybody wants to bring up any other topics that we've talked about in the past, or if it's somebody missed, if I missed somebody saying they had traffic or questions, let me know. But A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. If you want to check in, or if you have any traffic or questions for the net, please call now. Okay, no problem. This is Drone K1 DBC Net Control. Oftentimes this net, it just takes a little bit of time to get things moving along, but there's often a lot of conversation to be had. So I guess some club business I can cover here real quick. This is K1 DBC Net Control. The club board has decided that in-person meetings might just be a little too much effort than we have availability for at the moment in terms of venue and whatnot and technology and all that may be. But in lieu of that, the meetings will still continue online. Nothing will change there. That said, next meeting, pretty cool upcoming meeting here, April 19th, presented by our ARL Colorado section manager, Amanda Alden, K1DDN. So they'll be giving us some up-to-date information on the league and the direction the ARL is progressing. So this will be a really awesome opportunity. So a lot of cool stuff related to the club. And related to the hobby and related to the state. So there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So yeah, check that upcoming meeting out because there's going to be a lot of interesting information on there. This is Drone K1 DBC. Let me break here for a moment. This is K1 DBC Net Control. To maybe ease, just to provide some additional services to the club, because we're not going to be able to do in-person meetings as frequently anymore. There's now a lot of upcoming events, scheduled events, April 29th, June 3rd, July 15th, and September 16th. These are all DRC Saturday events. So you can visit our website, w0tx.org. And under the events menu, you'll see DRC Saturday. So starting the 29th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This will take place at the Prospect Park Arena where we had our last field day at. So the 29th, one will be show and tell, bring what you built or whatever you'd like to bring there. There'll be a demo on FT8 in digital modes. And bring your equipment, and they'll try to help you try to operate FT8 as well. There'll also be a contest. They'll be working Florida on the Air contest while they're set up a station to allow members to operate. So April 29th, June 3rd, July 15th, September 16th. Set your calendars because this is a really cool event. So I'll drop once more here. This is K1 DBC Net Control. So just to read the wording on here, this is put on not to. I want to give all credit where credit is due. Mark Thomas, N0XRX, Alex Cicera, KS0E, and Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. Really upstanding members of our community and our hobby and our group here. So they'll be help putting this on. Everyone is welcome, licensed or not. The wording here is in an effort to provide more opportunities to support the DRC membership, learn about ham radio, test equipment with knowledge support, and take some time to get together and have some fun. They have come up with DRC Saturday. These Saturday events they have scheduled are intended to determine if this is the if this is something that people would like to participate in. They can do more or less depending on the feedback. So take time to participate and let us know what you think. The hope is that we can spread this around the area or even in the mountains, but we thought we should start close to home. So location and time might change at any given time. Just keep on the website. So they're looking for more ideas for this event. So please send them to one of the people listed below or let us know during the event. So you can find their email addresses here: Kevin Schmidt, Alex Acera, and Mark Thomas, K0KPS, KS0E, and N0XRX. So you can also see the upcoming events and what they'll be doing there. So this is Daron K1DBC. I'll go ahead and drop. All right, this is Daron K1DBC. Some other upcoming events through that same event, same group. June 3rd is going to be Elmer Picnic in the Park, hot dogs, hamburgers, and questions, HT programming, radio tune-up. July 5th is going to be bring your own radio, run what you rung, set up remote HF stations. DRC will set up remote HF stations, tuners, amps, and bring you on the air, radio to get on the air. There'll be a proto activation, mobile installation, try to figure out how to install a radio in your car. And finally, September 16th, on the last one for the schedule for now, is demos and clinics for WinLink. Bring your mobile WinLink equipment, and they'll show you how to get it working. And they'll have a station demonstrate how it works, and they'll also be talking about get on the air. So if you don't have a license, that's another opportunity to get on the air. So a lot of cool upcoming events here. Again, thanks to Kevin, Alex, and Mark. So I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone have any follow-up on that, or any other comments, questions, anything else? Please call now.
KE0SUM, late check-in.
Yeah, KE0SUM, Jonathan. If you have anything, go right ahead. If not, no problem.
I've been listening, but you didn't ask for a check-in. I'm sure you would soon, but I think I read that email the other day, and I think this Denver Radio Club Saturday, get out and play radio, is absolutely wonderful. I think that should be great. New people can come, and people without any radios could come and play. So I highly appreciate that. I would do it, except I work on Saturdays. So maybe sometime we'll do it on a Sunday. The other thing you were saying, what was it that caught my interest? Yeah, I'll think about it. Back to you, Daron. KE0SUM. Back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC, no problem. Yeah, sounds good. Anytime you can remember that, feel free to jump in. Yeah, I've been speaking a little bit here long in the wind, so I'll throw it out to the group. Yeah, at this point, we'll just take a moment to take check-ins, actually. If you're just tuning in, this is the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio, STEM topics, and everything. So if you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please check in now with your call sign, your name, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions.
KF0FPI.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I heard KF0FPI Ron, and then there was another call in there. It sounded like a double, but if you just try to call in and I didn't call your call sign, go ahead and call back.
I had one more comment. SUM.
All right, sounds good. SUM. Okay, FPI Ron, and then I'll throw it over to SUM. So KF0 FPI Ron, go right ahead.
Yes, I got to give kudos to the three that brainstormed the DRC Saturday deal. I think that is a really great idea. And I have not done a club function, but that will be the first one I do. Will be April 29th. And we'll see how it goes. Back to you, Jerome. KF0FPI.
All right, sounds good. FBI, yeah, definitely appreciate that. Yep, N0XRX, KS0E, Alex, and K0KPS. You can check all their information out on QRZ if you want to as well. So, yeah, this is a long time coming, and it's yeah, really awesome to see this being spearheaded and coordinated effort for this. So, yeah, it's hopefully going to generate a lot of interest, and it's yeah, be a great way just to get out there and play radio. So yeah, very cool stuff. So yeah, KE0SUM, Jonathan, go right ahead.
Well, the first thought that comes to mind is it does sound like a fun event and it's very social and friendly. And plus, the fun thing is I have met Jerome in person at a Denver Radio Club meeting, and yeah, he'll probably be there. And he's a lot of fun to meet and know. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, sounds good, Jonathan. KE0SUM. This is K1DBC Net Control. I guess that could have gone either way. If depends on who you are. No, I appreciate that comment. So yeah, yeah, I'll definitely try to be out there. You'll see a lot of people that you'll be able to put faces to names and call signs to faces and things like that. So people that you've spoken to on the air. There'll be great events like this that you can just good camaraderie and fellowship. So. Yeah, really great opportunities here. So, yeah, KE0SUM, if you have anything else or anyone else, go right ahead.
I'll let somebody else talk for a minute.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, not a problem. This is Jerome, K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the net. Otherwise, I can cover a couple of other upcoming club events here. Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control right on the front page of our website, w0tx.org. Our recent newsletter for April Roundtable was released, so you can go and check that out. You'll see a lot of information about past meetings, upcoming meetings, things like that, and a lot of cool upcoming stuff here. So let's see, meeting info, as we spoke about, Amanda Alden, K1DDN on April 19th. That's actually the same day as the first Saturday, right? Nope, 29th, my bad. April 19th, Wednesday, excuse me. Let's see, DRC Saturday, get out and play. Again, another nice blurb on that. Upcoming siren test, if you'd like to help. We have a long-standing volunteer opportunity coming up, the siren test for the cities of Lakewood and Reach Ridge. These are managed by Jim Beal, K0TOR. He will be reaching out by phone, but if you want to get a hold of him, you can contact him over on our website, w0tx.org/siren test. There's a form you can fill out, and it will email him. There's also a video showing a couple of years ago a Wheat Ridge siren test, what kind of that looks like, verifying the siren, making sure that power looks good, either from AC or solar power, making sure everything looks good and sounds good when they do the test. So pretty cool opportunity on that if you've not been involved with that. Let's see, w0tx.org/volunteer, a lot of opportunities on that. You'll be seeing a lot of stuff on our field day page, w0tx.org/field day. Dick Nelson, N6WHV, is gratefully taken over field day chairperson. So, and then upcoming Hamfest on August 27th. So a lot of upcoming stuff here. So this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else for this evening's Learning Net so far? Please call now.
Did I already mention the upcoming transmitter hunt drone? KE0SUM.
I did, but I can briefly bring that up again as well. Jonathan, KE0SUM, along with other club members or members of the local community here have been meeting up for since December of 2022, it looks like, to do local Fox hunts, transmitter hunts. So upcoming one is mentioned as earlier on in it. April 9th, this upcoming Sunday. So check that out, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. There are 2 hidden transmitters, one that's 1 watt and one that's 15 milliwatts. A lot of information over on the QRZ page for N0CFM, November 0 Charlie Foxtrot Mike, on the frequencies of those, as well as if you just want to listen in, 145.475. You can just listen in for the pre-hunt check-in as well as general communication during the hunt. So, I really will try my utmost to listen in at least to the check-in frequency. If not, try to listen in for the foxes as well. So, appreciate that as always, Jonathan. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. So, pretty interesting opportunity there. This is a fairly frequent opportunity, maybe I think once a month, maybe or so. Really, really cool opportunity here. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
LAI.
Yeah, K0LAI. Larry, go right ahead.
K0LAI. I just installed last night, I think it was, my new FT-991A. It's been sitting in a box for a while, and I hooked it all up, and I was just wondering how it sounds.
Comment? Hey, Larry, KE0SUM. For some reason, it sounds a little tinny. The microphone must need a little adjustment. Just my thought.
Well, thanks for that. I don't know why. I looked for any type of adjustments for the mic, and I didn't see anything. The only adjustment I saw was either you connect it to the front or you connect into the back. So I'll have to look into that and find out. Interesting. Thanks. K0LAI, back to net.
You're perfectly readable, and it's a good signal. It just sounds, well, you know what I mean when I say a little tinny to the ear. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, sounds good there, Jonathan, KE0SUM. I don't know if it's... So it sounded a little crunchy to me. It's funny the terms we're using, but I know that we have recently had an upgrade to our repeater controller, and it seems like a lot of audio connections sound a little bit more tinny than normal. But yeah, hopefully Larry can find what's going on there. Yeah, that seems like a pretty capable radio, so it would be too bad if it's not working off the bat here for you, K0LAI. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it back out to you, Larry, or anyone else on that signal report or any follow-up on maybe fine-tuning microphone audio setup through a Yaesu FT-991A. Please call now.
This is K0LAI again. Okay, so I lowered the gain on the mic from 70 down to 50%. How's that sound?
Oh, Larry, you're dialing it in pretty good. Go a little lower.
Okay, that's 40%.
Oh, I think you've dialed it in, Larry. KE0SUM, back to net.
Okay, thanks a lot. K0LAI, back to net.
Good evening. The time is 8 p.m.
You could actually go down just a couple more notches, but you pretty much dialed it in, Larry.
Well, I'll have to take a look at it because I don't know how it's going to work on SSB, so I got to play with that with somebody sometime.
W0TX repeater.
I was just wondering if you'd done any HF with it yet, but congratulations, you sound great. KE0SUM, back to drone.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Sounds good. Yeah, that seemed like it was a gain issue, but yeah, that interesting how that worked out. Yeah, that definitely sounds a lot better now as well, Larry. K0LAI. This is a K1 DBC. So very, very cool stuff. So yeah, it'd be interesting how single sideband or digital modes are affected by that and whatnot. So I'll have to, I guess, play around with that a little bit. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah. Anyone else with a FT-991A or anything else on this conversation or anything else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
W0CIV, W0CIV, Charles and Denver, no traffic.
All right, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. That time we had WD0CIV. Charles checking in. Appreciate that. We also had someone else with a comment. Whoever else had that comment, go right ahead. The net is yours.
That's KF0FPI. I wanted to ask Larry what his mic game was at when he started. Back to that.
It's LAI.
K0LAI, go right ahead.
So my mic gain started out at 70%, and we lowered it down on my FT-897. It was always at 50%, and I lowered it down to 50, see if that would fix it. And the only reason I had it up high at 70 was because somebody was having a hard time understanding me on a net last night. And so I raised it up to see if that was going to help them. But apparently that didn't help. So I'm down to 40 now. And, you know, based on what Jonathan says, I might want to go down to 35. Maybe also I can just maybe sit back from the mic. This K0LAI.
But Larry, when you say sit back from the mic, you're a very experienced ham radio operator. I always hold my handheld mic pretty much exactly the same. So, yeah, just turn it down another 5 notches. Just my opinion. KE0SUM, back to net. Of course, I forget. You have some really nice mics. You don't use hand mics. Very good.
K0LAI. I just turned it down to 35, and, you know, I have this nice Heil mic that I'm using. I'm not using a hand mic right now. I still hang on to them just in case I need to do a tone to a repeater to change its operation. But normally I might do that in the mobile. I wouldn't do that at the desk. But Yeah, this is that really nice Heil mic I bought used, and it was a plug and play with the new radio. It uses the modular connector. I didn't have to do anything, just plugged it in, and that was it. K0LAI, back to net.
Can I ask Larry another comment, Ron? KE0SUM.
Not a problem. Go right ahead, Jonathan. This is K1DBC Net Control. Jonathan, KE0SUM. Jonathan, go right ahead.
Well, Larry, since I figured out your mic situation, so do you have to sit the exact same? Do you move it around, or do you sit in different positions and then adjust the mic?
No, I've got the mic sitting on my desk, and I have my chair up to the desk, and I am leaning over to talk into it. So I'm pretty much the same. I might maybe an inch or two different as far as distance of my mouth to the mic, but otherwise it's pretty much the same.
Oh, that's good information. I love learning new things, which I have never used a desk mic. I've been thinking about it, but I always hold the hand mic pretty much exactly the same because nobody says that I don't sound good. But you've got great. That Heil's a nice mic. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Very good information here. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice to hear good different microphone integrations for radios, some higher quality studio microphones, things like that. So yeah, really cool stuff here. So yeah, just keep the mic 1 or 2 inches away from your mouth, from your face. Just try to keep it the same. And if somebody gives you a report, just try to change against that. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, anyone else on what we've talked about or anything else or any other check-ins, please call now.
And one GUM with a question.
N1 GUM, Peter, go right ahead. The net is yours.
Thank you, Daron. I have a question for Larry. You mentioned there might be a difference in the different modes, so from FM to SSB. And I wonder if there is an explanation for that. And also, what do you expect to change from one band to the other? So if you go from 2 meters to 440, would you expect a change also?
This is K0LAI. Good question. I don't know what to expect. I do know when I was reading the manual a little bit, gee, I actually read the instructions because I couldn't figure it out on my own. On AM, it says you want to limit how much wattage you have, and you want to, it gives a suggestion. I forget exactly what the RF gain was for AM, because it said it would overdrive it. And I imagine FMs may have a little bit of that going on. With single sideband, you're not putting out a carrier, so maybe most of the energy is going to go into the voice. I just don't know how it's all going to compare, to be honest. When I'm using the FT-897, I just keep it at 50% on the mic gain. I never had an issue that I know of. So this radio is a lot more sophisticated. Let me break for a sec. Okay, I'm back now. So I was on single sideband on 40 meters last night or yesterday, and I was listening to a conversation with some people, and I think they were in a more northerly state because they're talking about the snow that was hitting them. And there was a lot of static noise, and I turned on the digital noise reduction, DNR, and it was like I was listening to an FM transmission. There was no background noise at all, and I didn't change anything. That's the only thing I did was turn on the noise reduction. So the digital noise reduction on this radio is incredible. Anyway, K0LAI, back to net.
W0TX repeater.
So when you turned on the digital noise reduction, you were listening to a fainter signal or a distorted signal, and then it became clear?
It's K0LAI. There was static, and the volume of the received signal, meaning the voices, was a little bit lower, and when I turned on the DNR, the static was gone, and the volume of the signal, meaning the voices, actually came up, and it was very clear, just like you were almost listening to, I mean, you had a little bit of distortion that you get on single sideband, but it was almost like an FM signal. It was no static at all. It's staticless.
Yes, Steely Dan, no static at all. But, no, I think this is really interesting. You said you were in AM, and then you switched that on and went to sideband. Anyway, really interesting, Larry. KE0SUM, back to net.
Following up on SUM's question, no, I did not go into AM. I was just reading about how AM worked because I was researching about the mic adjustments. No, I was on single sideband on 40 meters. It was like 7.610 or I don't know, something around there. There was about three or four people having a conversation, and they were talking about the weather and some other things. So that was all. In fact, the conversation sounded like some of them might have been some kind of scientists, like geologists or something, from what I could gather. Anyway, that's all I have. K0LAI, back to net.
I don't think drone will mind, but inquiring minds want to know, what antenna were you using, Larry? KE0SUM.
This is K0LAI. I was using my G5RV, and I had to learn a new way to tune it. So I've got this LDG Z100A tuner, because I can't use my tuner that is designed for the FT-991D, because it's a special LDG that interfaces with it. So I had to learn how to put this tuner in, and then you have to actually go into either CW mode or FM mode to tune it, and you have to send a signal. So I put it in CW mode. I used my microphone button to send a signal, to send the carrier, and then I hit the button to tune, and it worked. I'm not using the internal tuner because it may not tune, because the G5RV could be more than 3 to 1, and so I had to use the external tuner. And that's the only other mode I've been in now is CW, FM, and single sideband. And digital. I went into digital mode, but I was just making sure it worked. K0LAI, back to net.
Thanks, Larry. The G5RV always says it needs a tuner. Good information. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, sounds good. This is K1 DVC net control. A lot of great information there. So yeah, really, really cool stuff there. Yeah, on the KE0SU FT-991A manual here real quick on RF gain. They provide manual adjustments of the gain levels for RF and IF stages to account for noise and signal strength. It should initially be rotated to fully clockwise. This is the point of maximum receiver sensitivity. Counterclockwise will gradually reduce the system gain. Their advice says the RF gain is rotated counterclockwise. To reduce the gain, the S meter should rise. This indicates the AGC value voltage being applied to the receiver increases. Rotating RF gain knob control to fully counterclockwise position will essentially disable the receiver, as the gain will greatly be reduced. In this case, the S meter will appear to be pegged against the right edge of the S meter scale. Quick points: reception frequency can be improved by rotating the RF gain knob slightly counterclockwise to set it where the stationary meter indication is just about the same as incoming noise level. Yeah, a lot of information you can learn about the stuff for our digital operations. So really, really cool stuff there. And yeah, some tuner information there on the LDG, and yeah, really cool stuff. So yeah, anyone else on that, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Feel free. This isn't necessarily a direct net, so if you ever feel comfortable, you're more than happy to throw it over to another member for a question or a comment. So I appreciate throwing things back to the net at some point, but don't hesitate to communicate with each other directly, unless I don't know, I know something different. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, we have another 15 or so minutes within the net here. Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
K0SUM, I've got a question for Larry. It's really off topic, drone.
No problem. We'll see. KE0SUM, not a problem. Jonathan, go right ahead.
Well, Larry and I work together from time to time, but he's a master beer brewer, and he's got like a nice brewery. And I was just going to ask Larry, how is the brewing coming along? KE0SUM.
This is K0LAI. Thanks for asking, Jonathan. I've only brewed one beer, and I still have that in a keg. It's a German alt beer, which is one of the oldest recipes still around today. In fact, Julius Caesar probably had a quaff of alt beer from some Germans at one time. I want to brew my favorite, which is, my second favorite, which is a Czech-style Pilsner, but I've had a lot of family issues recently, and we had a death in the family, and so I haven't been able to do that, but I'm hoping to get my schedule back on track again, and I'm going to try to brew this Czech Pilsner pretty soon. I have to anyway, because the yeast is going to expire. Otherwise, I'll have to buy some more yeast. Anyway, so that's the situation. And still have some two ciders yet, and they're pretty good. This is K0LAI. Back to net.
I was sorry to hear about your passing recently, and I knew you'd done some ciders, but I could hope your brew comes out well. KE0SUM, back to net.
LAI.
All right, sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, we're an extended family of everyone here, so yeah, we always feel that. So yeah, definitely appreciate being a part of our family as much as we can be. So with that, I'll throw it back over to LAI. Go right ahead.
W0TX repeater.
This is K0LAI. I wanted to make another comment about the radio. I have Ham Radio Deluxe. I've been an owner of that for a long time, and I had to upgrade it to the latest version, and the latest version interfaces with the radio really well. And so when I was making those mic adjustments, I was doing that in Ham Radio Deluxe. I didn't have to go to the menu. and also you can adjust things like the wattage, things like that. So one of the interesting things is when you turn on when you bring the software up, it asks, do you want to turn the radio on? And so you can make it so, yeah, automatically if the radio is not on, turn it on for me. And the other thing is when you shut the software off, it asks, do you want to shut the radio off? And you get a yes, no. You hit yes, and it shuts the radio off for you. So that's pretty cool. K0LAI, back to that.
All right, this is Duran K1DBC. That's some pretty cool functionality there with the integrations for the FT991A power, and you can adjust mic gain through that. So yeah, I'm just I'm dealing with the just an older, but standard FT857D, but just standard serial ports and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty cool that that has that functionality. You can power it up, power it down, and yeah, really, really cool stuff there. So yeah, Ham Radio Deluxe, pretty cool software there to be able to operate your radio and log, and a lot of ton of functionality within it. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, really cool to hear that. All right, sounds good. This is Daron, K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, if you can use a Windows computer, Ham Radio Deluxe makes operating with a radio much easier than some of your free applications, if you will, that you can run like on a Raspberry Pi, like FL-Rig or FL-Digi, things like that. They work, but Ham Radio Deluxe makes things a lot easier for operations, and brings in some modern conveniences to radios and operating on the radio. So yeah, really cool information there. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Y'all throw it out to the group. Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's net, please call now.
KF0FEI.
S.t.e.m.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. It sounded like we had KF0FPI Ron and KE0SUM Jonathan in there. FPI Ron, go right ahead, then as yours.
You developed a 60 hertz hum. You didn't have it earlier.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. This is K1DBC Net Control. Just a quick radio check from KE0SUM Jonathan. I just wanted to check on my signal here.
He's asking you guys how it sounds. I hear the 60 hertz hum. KE0SUM. Go back to drone.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Hopefully nothing has changed, or you hear something. Give me just a second here.
Fan on. You might want to turn that off.
This is K1DBC Net Control. I just want to check once more for signal report.
You sound much better, drone. KE0SUM.
Okay, thank you. I think it was me trying to demonstrate Ham Radio Deluxe that may have done something. So, okay, appreciate that. So, FPI, Ron, go right ahead. This is K1 DBC Net Control. KF0 FPI, Ron, if you had any other follow-up, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. KE0SUM, Jonathan, if you had any other follow-up, go right ahead as well.
No follow-up, Jerome. Nice net, fun chat. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate the follow-up. Yeah. This may just be the learning net, but we do record and archive these on YouTube, so I do appreciate that. I want to make sure things sound good there or sound good over the air, wherever the case may be. So yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, don't ever hesitate. It's no skin off my back. I'll adjust as needed to make sure things sound good for everyone, wherever the case may be. So appreciate that. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. We have another 5 or so minutes. There's no hard stop to the end of the net. I can bring up another story or two here, but anyone else, any other comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
I heard an interesting fact the other night on another net. HRO tests for ham radio exam every second Saturday of the month, and they had 11 people sign up so far, and almost all of them were testing for their general. I thought that was interesting. KE0SUM.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Very cool to hear that. Yeah, hamstudy.org. You can /sessions. You can find a lot of upcoming sessions there. So I don't know if it's the Patriot VE team W0PCT. Or if it's a different team that helps with that. But yeah, really cool stuff there. Let's see. Yeah, as mentioned at our local ham radio outlet, they have studies or sessions, in-person sessions. So that's really cool here to hear. 11 people testing, and all of them were new hams. So yeah, that was really cool to hear as well. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, our hobby is far from dying. There's a lot more people interested now more than ever, and there's a lot of things that this hobby encompasses as we discover net after net and day after day of experimentation and different activities. So yeah, it's awesome to hear more people coming into the fold and not being afraid to ask questions or experiment and test things out. It's a lot of fun in being a citizen scientist. So there's a lot of cool stuff out there, and yeah, we should encourage anyone who wants to be an engineer one day or has any interest in what ham radio may offer them. Yeah, get them studying and get them a part of our club or the local club for them. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 India Lima Sierra KF0ILS Adam in Denver. Just checking in.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Sorry if I missed you earlier, but yeah, I did hear you earlier as well. KF0ILS, got you checked in. Really do appreciate you being in here. I think you're a new check-in, so yeah, really do appreciate that. And if there's anything we can do for you, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it back out to the group. Anyone else? Please call now.
KF0LDU, Wayne, just checking in. First time I think on this net.
That was a lot.
might have doubled with someone. KE0SUM.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. Sorry, I kind of set that response up a little bit odd. There was a few people checking in there. If you had any other follow-up on that ILS, I'll throw it back to you, KF0 ILS. If you want, go right ahead.
No, that wasn't me. I heard SUM and somebody else doubled with him. Wasn't me. Back to you guys.
All right, sounds good. No problem. Just want to make sure if you had anything, you can get it in there. So, yeah, and then we had KE0SUM, and I think there was Wayne. Let me see if I have a previous history of that. I thought it was NPU, but SUM, and then there was another check-in, Wayne, I think. If I didn't call your call sign, go right ahead.
Sure, KF0, Sierra Uniform, Mike. Wayne, drone,
first time I think
boy, your radio is still getting a
it.
lot of background hum, and you're readable, but it's not you. Back to net. Yeah, if that was for KF0 ILS, I'm on a different radio with this antenna sitting inside. This is an ancient 45-watt ICOM from the 90s sometime. I wasn't even sure it would work. You can copy me. Back to net.
Oh, it works good. Sounds great.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I might need to cut the net short here. I've tried to turn off everything here around me, potentially. K1 DBC Net Control, this is for KE0SUM. Go right ahead for signal report once more, sorry.
Hey, you're perfect, drone. Whatever you did worked great. Continue along, my friend. KE0SUM.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Sorry, Wayne. One more time. Hopefully, better luck on the third time here. Wayne, if you want to check in one more time, go right ahead.
Sure, call sign is KF0LZU. Just checking in to the net. Nothing more to add.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Appreciate your patience with that. KF0LZ Wayne got you checked in. Yeah, good to hear you in there. New call sign. Really do appreciate that. So, yeah, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to ask or reach out. Our club website, w0tx.org, for everyone out there. A lot of information out there, upcoming meetings, things like that. So I'll throw it out to the group. Any other comments, questions, check-ins for this evening's net? Please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India. Question for LAI.
The key I read years ago, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and on the front it says, "Don't panic." That's the way to go, and you handle things beautifully. You're a great person to have on ham radio. KE0SUM.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, really appreciate that, SUM. There was also KF0 FPI Ron with a comment for a question or for Larry, K0LAI. FPI Ron, go right ahead.
Thank you, Jerome. I was wanted to ask Larry the software that he's using to interface his radio. I wanted to know if it's a direct connect from a computer, and he said he just got out of the box. Has he ever fat-fingered the controls on the radio, or he's just playing with it from computer keystrokes? Back to net.
All right, great question there, FPI. I'll throw it over to Larry, K0LAI, if you have a follow-up on that. Have you done much voice work or just more digital work at the moment? Or if have you have other follow-up on that, go right ahead.
Well, this is K0LAI. First, let me address the connection to the radio. So, a lot of the new radios have USB connections on the back of the radio that will connect into a computer, and so you can use like a standard printer cable will work just fine. And you know, some of the newer radios have they have a HDMI output that will go into a TV or a monitor, and you can actually have the little display get blown up bigger. Let me take a break for a sec. So in my case, I'm using the cable that came with the RT System software to program the radio, and I took my programs from my FT-897 and copied them over to the 991A software. In fact, the software works with the original 991. And made a few changes because now I have C4 FM, which I haven't tested yet either. And so that cable, and I had to, of course, load a driver for that because it's to program the radio. But that cable is what I'm using to talk to the radio from the computer, so that works just fine. And I have done some fat fingering on the radio, playing with it, like setting my call sign in it, and I put Zulu time in it, and things like that. And there's some getting used to. There's a lot of functionality that, and I had to read the manual to figure it out. And the nifty manual's not bad, but it doesn't cover everything. The big manual's better, especially if you have it in PDF, because you can do a search for things. This is K0LAI, back to net.
Question?
All right, appreciate the follow-up on that, Larry. There was a question in there. Go right ahead.
I think the drawback for this is you can't get it to do the big display. Don't you have a radio that you hook a monitor up to? Most of the new ones are doing that, but you have a shack in the box. Are you planning on putting this in your car, Larry? KE0SUM.
W0TX repeater.
That's K0LAI. So that's one of the advantages of the Ham Radio Deluxe is that it does your big display on the screen. And like if you're doing HF and digital, you can bring up the digital on another screen. Yeah, and I have the big screen behind me, which right now has the Geochron running on it. But if I needed a screen, I could easily convert that from the Geochron back into, a regular computer screen. I'm driving 3 screens. I think I can drive a 4th off my graphics card. It's an NVIDIA graphics card. And in the car, I use my FT-857 with Ham Radio Deluxe, and that is my screen when I'm in the car. And so that's what I use when I'm doing some HF work from the vehicle. It's K0LAI, back to net again.
Well, thanks, Larry. Your setup is so interesting. It's large. It's well thought out. So I appreciate the information. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. Yeah, appreciate the follow-up on there, K0LAI. A little bit of a information about how that's used with the Ham Radio Deluxe and your mobile operations as well with the FT857D as well. And yeah, it makes it a lot easier with some of these applications and whatnot. So really cool stuff there. So this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it back out to the group. We're about 10 minutes over, but there is no hard stop to this evening's net. It's usually about an hour 15, hour half or so at most or so, but I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
Alpha Echo 0 Romeo Kilo, Fred, Federal Heights, no traffic.
FBI, question back at Larry.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. That time we had AE0RK Fred check in. Appreciate that. And FPI, Ron, with another question. Go right ahead.
Yeah, this question is back to K0LAI. This software, did you have to pay for it, or is it a free download, or where did you find it? Just on the cloud, or what? Back to net.
This is K1DBC Net Control. I can take that if you'd like, Larry.
This is K0LAI. The software is commercial software. You pay for it. It's an annual fee. It's an annual support fee, and it allows you to get free upgrades whenever they come out. You know, maybe monthly or quarterly, something like that. You can actually buy it online, or if you go to Ham Radio Outlet, you can buy the software there. And you get a license key, and once you have that license key, you put it into the software, and you're set. And when I updated it, now you can have multiple versions of it running. I have an older version that I kept for a long time because of the way it worked. But this newest version, I'm pretty happy with. I still have the old version I like, but I'm not using it right now. You can use it in multiple places. And you can even use it on multiple radios. You can have multiple radios hooked up to it, which I will probably do. And I keep a copy on my laptop, which I use on my FT857. And I have taken my an FT897 portable out on for some field type stuff, and it works fine on it out there. So, and I'm buying new laptops that use less energy to be able to have them in a battery situation or a solar situation. Anyway, you just do a search for Ham Radio Deluxe, and it should pop up on your screen someplace. This is K0LAI back to net.
But LAA, did you actually answer my questions? What are you going to do with the 991A?
The 991A will be my primary radio. I'll take my older FT897D and use it as a secondary radio, a backup. Also, I can use it for portable, and I'm going to use it for being able to listen on another HF antenna, so I can listen what's going on maybe on one band and be working another band, or be able to have multiple FM frequencies I want to monitor or something like that. I want to be able to do more things in the future with my radios. And it's always good to have backups, so I've got lots of backups. K0LAI back to net.
Larry, I love your thought process. I was just basically asking how many HF radios are you going to have in your van? So, yeah, it's a good thought. KE0SUM back to net.
All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. Appreciate hearing that. Don't take for granted the equipment you may have, because as the FT857D is proving, a ham shack in a box, it's becoming less frequent nowadays, and we may not have seen that 5-10 years ago. We may not have foreseen that, but it's harder to come by and a little bit more expensive to get all band, all mode type transceiver. So use what you have, because you may lose it at one point. So yeah, good to hear on that, Larry. And anyone else? Excuse me.
FBI back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC, KF0FPI. If you had any follow-up, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was going to let Larry know that I cut my teeth in this a couple years ago with an FT-991A. I love that radio, and I do have that USB cable and can RT transfer it. And I bought an FT-DX10 probably 6-7 months ago. That's still sitting in a box like his 991A was. And I wasn't going to open that box till I take my general test, which is going to happen Saturday at HRO. And I'm kind of excited about going into a little bit of HF. Back to net.
All right, KF0FEI, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, welcome to the world of HF, and yeah, hope the best for the upcoming test, and I'm sure you'll do just fine. So this is K1DBC Net Control. So yeah, as a reminder, yeah, even techs have access to some HF bands in operation. So, but yeah, this is a really cool looking equipment here, the FTDX10. So yeah, hopefully you get some pretty good use out of that. This is K1DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
LAI.
K0LAI, this is K1DBC Net Control. Go right ahead.
This is K0LAI. I was going to make a comment back to s.t.e.m. He's asked about, mobile operations. I have two vans, both of which have capability of hooking up an ATAS 120 to the rear of the vehicle, and they're grounded properly. And all these radios I have, every one of them works with the ATAS 120 in a mobile operation. So I just wanted to point that out to him. So every one of these radios, including this brand new FT-991A, will work with an ATAS 120. This is K0LAI. Back to net.
Larry, you're so exactly right, because it also does 2 meters and 440. I don't know if it does 440, but it is 2 meters. So, yes, it's perfect there on those situations. KE0SUM.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Great point as well. That's amazing that they're basically 2 meter through 2 meter 70 centimeter and then 6 meter through 40 meter HF operations antenna ATAS 120 that's been around for years and years and years. Supports radios going back to the FT450, 857, up to the ones you're talking about now, the FT991A. So that's pretty insane, and they were quite forward thinking about all-in-one operations. So yeah, it is kind of too bad that we've kind of gone away from that, but Yeah, this some of the old devices that we have still quite can outperform a lot of in terms of some of the functionality or whatever it may be, but a lot of performance for what we had at that point and what we have now. So yeah, really cool stuff here. The ATAS 120. So really cool to hear that.
Well, the FT-891 is currently still in production. Works perfectly with the ATAS.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, good information there. Yeah, the FT-891 HF 50 megahertz. It's in 50 megahertz. That's I forget what band that is, but 100 watt all mode. So yeah, pretty nice looking rig there. $640, $660 normally priced. So not too bad of a price point for getting into HF compared to some of the $1,000 plus rigs. So yeah, that's a really good information there as well. Thank you.
Comment, KE0SUM.
KE0SUM, Jonathan, go right ahead.
John, I'd like to comment, it was a good net. You've run it for quite a while, but now we're getting esoteric when we start talking about antennas. I suppose this is good listening, but I'm about thinking about a really good burrito. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, this is Duran K1 DBC. Absolutely, yeah, definitely appreciate being everyone, hearing everyone here on the net here, and having viewers on our YouTube and whatnot. Really cool stuff here. This will be the final call. Any last minute comments, questions, check-ins, just for the count? Anything else for this evening's net? Otherwise, we'll start to wrap things up. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We've spoken about quite a lot this evening. I can't recap all of it, but luckily we've been streaming on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club, so I'll try to make a recap from that. But always check that out if you want to. Again, everyone, really do appreciate everyone checking in here. Tonight we had a total of 14 check-ins. We definitely appreciate our the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters. Upcoming meeting, April 19th. Amanda Alden, K1DDN. Check that out on our website, w0tx.org. As we also mentioned, the DRC Saturday's upcoming event, April 29th. Show and tell, FT8 get on the air or on the air event, things like that. So check that out. A lot of information over on our website. So this is Duran K1 DBC Net Control. Let's see if there's anything else. Otherwise, I will wrap the net up. Okay, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I don't have much else. If you were watching the beginning of the net on YouTube, you will have seen a documentary that I was playing by, it's produced by students from the School of Visual and Media Arts program at the University of Montana on ham radio. So I'll play a few more minutes after the on that here on our YouTube, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So with that, this is K1 DBC Net Control 7-3. I am clear. Great to hear you, and we'll talk all next week. K1 DBC, I'm clear. What a net. All right, everyone. Appreciate everyone being here. Not too much more of your time, but pretty cool documentary, and we'll wrap things up. This is K1 DBC. We'll see you all next week.
I've only been here for 5 years. All of the amateurs that I have met in my time here are fantastic people. They are giving, they are welcoming, they share the whole fraternity, camaraderie, but I've tried to do the same thing. Some of these are people that are new into the hobby, and I've tried to help them find equipment, help them with antennas. I'm trying to promote amateur radio. I'm not involved in an amateur radio club, mainly because I can't keep the schedules. I don't want to be involved in something that I know I'm not going to be faithful to.
There are about 1.5 million radio amateurs in the world, all licensed by their governments to operate on assigned frequencies that are agreed to internationally. The advantages, of course, of being able to do this is that we radio amateurs are the only group of citizens in the world who can communicate freely across international borders, speaking with one another from the privacy of our own homes, using our own equipment.
Hello, Moon. Hello, Moon. There's very, very small sections of ham radio, like I'm interested in moon bounce, and for years I've bounced radio signals off the moon to contact people on the other side of the earth. Moon bounce has always been intriguing to me. Even when I was a teenager, I thought, wow, that's amazing to send a signal to the moon and have it come back 2.5 seconds later. When I finally moved out of Cleveland and bought a house in Vermont, I actually put up an antenna for moon bounce and made my first contacts. The people who are meant.
All right, thanks again here for watching this evening. This is a documentary, Ham. Follows a group of Montana amateur radio enthusiasts that show the loyal community of amateur radio and explore what it means to be in a ham and how they are trying to keep the hobby alive. So, produced by School of Visual Arts Media Arts Program at University of Montana. So check that out on YouTube.
WZERO-TX repeater.
Wrap the evening up. Have a good evening.